for today's messages as our lovely 5D collective keeps on expanding with the ascension energies, and we have a lovely eclipse coming up. Here's for those of you who do Dharma. So you do have your inner child adult in the forefront. You love emotions. They're not laundry. And you do like Pacha does. You know how to unconsciously love, and also Jesus does. He taught me how to forgive. It's very easy. You don't actively go around spelling it out. We all vibe at a frequency. So when your inner child adult is here, that's why you do know how to unconsciously love as a grown-up. Because the only ones who don't, well, they're rigid, harsh, unforgiving, and they have room if they want to move into the enlightenment vibration. Okay, so let's read, shall we? The channeled guidance and food for thought messages for my lovely 5D collective. Actively, the matrix, we don't do conspiracy of 4D land. We do something quite different because, and we'll discuss that a little bit more in the extended, when you have integration of the brain, it's really fun. So when you have healthy self-worth, human beings around you, they're smart emotionally and mentally. They don't have humbug. And humbug is for people who don't know how to do mindfully day-to-day living and mindset. So they don't actively have the depths of their body in the forefront. So the life they are is still not expanded to where they could be. But that's, again, a choice. It's not a need. You don't need me. You don't need anybody. You're actively heading home towards a restorative embodiment self. The unfortunate business is that unfaced and untapped fears is what I've noticed. 4D and 3D keep bringing up. But again, in the extended. So here's where Sadhguru, only in misery is life too long. In joy, it's too brief. I agree. Every day of my life since I was a kid growing up, I'm like, I'm going to enjoy every day of my life. Why? Because, well, I don't have shame, anger, depression beneath the surface. I even used the word depression as a kid, but I'm like, the grown-ups gave me this word. Dharma is because your right and left work together. So spirituality, sciences, they're not being confused. The left motors, the ones who only use the left because their inner child is not breathing. So their whole 3-year-old heart is not there yet. Their 1-year-old isn't independent, and they're seeking thumbs up from their herd. I'm not. And no person who's a 5D Christ consciousness is looking for the thumbs up of anyone, not our parent, not any human being. Nobody gets on a pedestal. That's what it's called to be a healthy self-worth human being. Just so you know, I'm going to break it down to you as many ways as possible how your prefrontal cortex is really awesome. So we don't get possessed by painful emotions, and that's because we are able to be at home in ourselves. It's called My Body Feels. I actively love emotions. It means I'm a real person. Like Pinocchio, when he was wooden, he knew the difference, right? Okay, so unlike Pinocchio, who goes on an island, and basically that's why we'll have an extended. So again, thank you, Tar Brock. People who get possessed by painful emotions and aren't able to be at home in themselves, if they look underneath the painful emotions, shame, anger, depression, they will find the roots of unfaced fears. I've seen many people run away from love. 5D vibe, we don't actively attract anyone who doesn't want to be their self, because actively they will be irritated by the fact that we are authentic, all of our child parts. So vibing at the frequency of heart, body, mind, and harmony with feminine and masculine, embodied and expressed, is what we get to do when we, those of us who own our sense of self, and we're being self-aware, accountable, and regulating. So it gives you, like me, the possibility to vibe at the frequency of the heart, body, and mind in harmony with feminine and masculine, embodied and expressed as whole, as Sadhguru shares with us in this lovely representation of Shiva. The symbolism of Ardhanarishvara shows that if you evolve in your ultimate context, you will be half a man and half a woman, not a neuter, a full-fledged man and a full-fledged woman. That is when you are a full-blown human being. What he's trying to say is you embody both feminine and masculine energies, then you'll embody what you are. Like I'm a feminine, so I embody my whole feminine. That's thanks to integration of the brain, restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating Maria. I'm pure consciousness because I've maintained the heart, body, and belly body that Jesus and God taught me, and actively it's called unconditional love. It's not conditional. I will love, accept, and respect you. And like a functional adult, I will tell you what I think, what I feel. I won't lie. I'll bring to you Dharma, not karma. Why? Because my consciousness, my prefrontal cortex, my unconscious and subconscious, all that comes up of my body is not something hidden. It's in the forefront. I don't suppress my emotions. I don't ignore any of it. I have actively the 6th sense though. So my insula is activated. My prefrontal cortex because I'm in a physiological state of compassion. You see, so when you are, you'll know too. That's why our heart stays open. We consciously choose it. I chose as a teenager to keep my heart open when I noticed it was closing up, because I met all of those unreliable teenagers who, to this day, the ones who don't become inner child adults, they're their 16-year-old with boxing gloves on. So they do karma because they don't get their conscious, unconscious, subconscious on point, and they don't know what they're vibing. But we, the ones of us who are able to perceive each other, like the 5D collective, we actively know human beings who do not break the self-created boundaries will remain trapped in them. So when I'm with people who do karma, I don't go telling them they're doing karma. This, their misery, not mine. They actively will be unhappy with me because I will try to, no, I don't. I learned as a teenager, again, how not to do any of this because people made it very clear that apparently I am traumatized and must be pretending to be a happy person. And I'm thinking, wow, they obviously want me to not be happy. Shit. No, I wasn't thinking that. I was just knowing that they were not confident, because low self-esteem people actively are the ones who only use one side of their brain. They can grow self-esteem and then become healthy self-worth. And once they're completely differentiated, they vibe at their own guitar string. And then as differentiated selves, we come together and we enjoy each other. In fact, there's beautiful masculines that are doing this right now. And they're open to their inner world. So they don't run away from relationships. They don't sit in silence and stagnate and, just kind of do nothing. It's inside. It's not outside. They can be actively participating. In fact, I have stories. Again, let me finish up so we can have a short one. And then I'll have that extended that we were talking about. So the depths of love, life, and bliss arise when you live and love consciously and are fully present in your day-to-day life and relationships with all of the parts of you seen, soothed, safe, and secured by you alongside mental, emotion, physical mastery. So daily practices support the ones who want self-help, spiritual, mindful living, and are truly living spirituality. The other ones, they like to have those mantles and they are satisfied, and that's, again, in the extended. So meantime, our 5D collective of mystics and inner child adults / functional adults, we tap into the infinite higher human conscious potential thanks to spiritual, mindful, loving, and living ways. Okay, so you know how to identify. Do you have solid roots? Some of you do. Some of you might be getting those solid roots. So if you have solid roots, you've been expanding, deepening, and further enriching every day of your life and all of those relationships. So every day you wake up more happy. We know what's going on out there in the world. We don't use humbug. We use the prefrontal cortex. Nobody uses the temporal junction when you're in a physiological state consistently of compassion. You're always on. Why would you be off? It's called pure energy, pure consciousness. Purusha, Prakriti are two words that I learned, and it's embodied by the restorative, embodied, self-aware, accountable, and regulating person. So you hit your toe on the door, you learn how to do. My panic attacks gave me a lot of practice. My oversoul, masculines, my twin flames, yes, but the panic attacks are what got me to learn how to calibrate my nervous system again, because I soothed, as others make it very interesting when you have panic attacks and you reach out. Yes, actively human beings who don't have room for other human beings, you'll know. It's easy to understand it because, again, you're knowing how to soothe your own nervous system. In fact, I had a couple of, I'm going to say that again for the extended. So the ones of us who have solid roots, we don't have huge tower moments. The ones who have brittle roots, they get the opportunity to refocus without losing their sense of self. So 5D vibing person has chosen to be their self. So you don't lose yourself. You chose authenticity. So you recalibrate to match the frequency that you wish to live in and that you want to manifest around you. This doesn't mean a magical wand. It means you actively either go to therapy and then accompany it with mindfulness if that's what you need, or you actively understand how to use your prefrontal cortex. I'm going to try and break it down. It's a really embodying, beautiful experience. I don't hear enough people talking about it. They like to romanticize ascension energies and then demonize those who they don't like, but they don't tell you how it works. I know how it works because I have put it into practice. So again, you don't need me. Your body and your embodied brain are already seeking to return home. What I've noticed is people don't notice when they're actively choosing to live their unfaced fear, which is why therapy is a good idea for all people. Then once they're doing it and they're done, they say, I don't want to do personal development, self-help. So it's not crap. It's just people don't want to do emotions. And that's the Zen master with laundry. Okay, so meantime, we do emotions here and thoughts willfully because it's like, wow, I have emotions. And that's how you create resiliency. It's actively how you work it's like a muscle. You use your brain however you want and your mind. And that's why when you're picking up the frequency of your whole body, you get to say, oh, what's this? Hey, my core self. So you have love, not shame, not blame, not fault, not revenge. That needs therapy first. Once you're whole, again, inner child, adult, I got a whole core self. It's mine. Maria's differentiated, and you. And with integrity, we engage. So mindful and spiritual loving and living. Anytime life events and people come about, you get the opportunity to bring forth your authentic self, to delight in you and others, just as you are. And that is why you make the best of all that life has to offer. And this is why we know this. Where are you? If no matter what is given to you, you can make something beautiful out of it, that is intelligence. So we hang out with intelligence. It's mental, emotional, and physically mastering human beings. The 5D vibe is all about enlightenment. Again, not hard to do. A choice. It's a choice to work with your emotions and your thoughts, to use the body that serves the life you are. But before you can even bother with that pure consciousness, pure energy bit, you work with the human stuff, which people like to ignore and just create distance and call it laundry or call it, stuff like that. And that's why we have the extended in a little bit. Okay, so mindful and spiritual loving and living, again, allows for a person to embody universal love and authority, to carry yourself inside and out with a powerful, directed, realized, receptive, wise, and loving self. Want to remind you what cards came out, just so you know why. This is channeled guidance, food for thought again. So you get to vibe at the enlightenment, unconditionally loving vibration that pure consciousness holds. You choose that, you don't have to. And that is when you're going to attract people who want to live the same frequency. You attract those who choose love by choosing to be their authentic self. They bring forth their inner child, adult, functional adult, mystics, and not. Yes, the ones who don't choose their self, they won't want to be around us. We actively will make them feel like they want to vomit. That's what good therapists will inform you of when people do not welcome their self home. I've seen it happen. So again, without a sense of self, you don't commit to anything. You just run away and never get to experience the depths of life or the richness of love because of unfaced fears. With a sense of self, instead, you face the fears of life's mysteries and unknowns, unexpecteds and unwanteds. Losing yourself is not an option, and it doesn't actually happen to the 5D collective because you chose yourself, and you chose to love unconditionally with flaws and integrity, all. So you and I, if we don't get along, it's okay. We don't have to hang out. Spiritual and or mindful living and loving means you feel and are seen, soothed, safe, and secure to be yourself. And you tap into your infinite higher human conscious potential experiences through daily mindful mindset and mindset practices. When you do that, you will know how to, again, embody that which is pure consciousness, and that's unconditional love, that which is pure energy, the whole self and 3-year-old heart is what I call it. And we can say Purusha is pure consciousness, Prakriti is pure energy. And you also expand consciousness because you embody your own feminine, divine masculine, masculine, feminine. And your mind, heart, body, somatic harmony is accessibly applicable for you once you have the inner child adult. Okay, so anybody who says they can't do it yet, they can. They just might think that they don't want to because, a lot of people make up excuses like, people are all fucked up. Everybody else is not doing it. Why should I do it? So we're all imperfect and flawed, remember, but with integrity. We use equanimity. And as functional adults, using that love language, we get to come together with different people. Again, the ones who are authentically their self, they like to talk about everything. Politics, religion. We don't have eggshells. We build enriching relationships and life moments because we meet smart intelligence. No shame, no blame, no fault, no revenge. Nope. Those people, well, the adaptive child or maladaptive child patterns of behaviors, they're shame cycles, and they can use a good therapist. So we don't go doing what the martyr superiors do. They tell each other what to do in life. That's actively teenager attitude. We say, nope. We just say, okay, look, that behavior, that tone, okay. So if they know how to recalibrate, great. If not, it's okay. We'll say, you know what, we are agreeing to disagree. I love you from afar unconditionally, but your mannerisms are actively really humbug. And so that's why some people say, well, then you don't unconditionally love. No, unconditionally loving means that I don't take away the love because I'm still secure and safe to be myself and you can be you. I just say this attitude is not really what I'm going to talk to or talk about, So I love when people bring up stuff. And that's why I like to bring it in as we close on out. So every person is healable when they care about their solo self and beyond. That's true spirituality life. So they decide to get healed so they can join us as inner child adults and have fun. And then they can live a life and love that is meaningful, enriching, and so mindful, spiritual, authentic self, choosing relationships, life experiences, self-worth, forgiveness, compassion. Basically, to live the depths of you means you choose to be all of that humanity that you are, and that's why then you overflow with divinity. Sadhguru just doesn't know that that is integration of brain, restored embodiment, self, aware, accountable, and regulating. You get here through mindfulness mindset and mindset practices. Tune in for more. Like, share, and subscribe if you're so inclined. And if you know people who do enjoy spiritual, self-help, mindful living, loving, again, tips, stories, mystic here. We're going to have some storytelling in our extended. Have a great one.